and welcome back to Friday Reads, where we help you find your next read. I'm Jill.
And I'm Julie, and we took a break off for the 4th of July week, but we're back, and today we're going to feature another author and tell you why you should read her books. And today's pick is Ali Hazelwood. She's the guilty pleasure of one of our co-workers, so Jill and I thought it would be fun to recommend her books. So, Jill, what's your first one?
So the big thing about Ali Hazelwood is STEMinism. That's her thing. So a lot of these have science in them. This is The Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This was published this year, February 4th, 2025. A competitive diver and an ace swimmer jump into forbidden waters in this steamy college romance from the New York Times bestselling author of The Love Hypothesis. Scarlett Vandermeer is a swimming upstream. A junior at Stanford and a student athlete who specializes in platform diving, Scarlett prefers to keep her head down, concentrating on getting into med school and on recovering from the injury that almost ended her career. She has no time for relationships. At least that's what she tells herself. Swim captain, world champion, all-around aquatics golden boy Lucas Blomqvist thrives on discipline. It's how he wins gold medals and breaks records, complete focus with every stroke. On every surface, Lucas and Scarlett have nothing in common until a well-guarded secret slips out and everything changes. So they start an arrangement, and as the pleasure leading to the Olympics heats up, so does their relationship. It was supposed to be just a temporary, mutually satisfying fling, but when staying away from Lucas becomes impossible, Scarlett realizes that her heart might be treading into dangerous water. Not much science in this one, but there's plenty of swimming and plenty of romance with the wrong guy. The Deep End by Ali Hazelwood.
Okay, so another reason why you should read her books is she sets the bar really high with the boyfriend characters in her books. And in this pick, I've done this book before. Adam Carlson fits the bill for that. And this is The Love Hypothesis. This was published in 2021. When a fake relationship between scientists meets the irresistible force of attraction, it throws one woman's carefully calculated theories on love into chaos. As a third-year PhD candidate, Olive Smith doesn't believe in lasting romantic relationships, but her best friend does, and that's what's got her into this situation. Convincing her that Olive is dating and well on her way to happily ever after was always going to take more than hand-wavy Jedi mind tricks. Scientists always require proof. So like any self-respecting biologist, Olive panics and kisses the first man she sees. That man is none other than Adam Carlson, a young hotshot professor and well-known ass. Which is why Olive is positively floored when Stanford's reigning lab tyrant agrees to keep her charade a secret and be her fake boyfriend. And when a big science conference goes haywire, putting Olive's career on the Bunsen burner, Adam surprises her again with his unyielding support and even more unyielding six-pack abs. Suddenly, their little experiment feels dangerously close to combustion. All the science terms in this write-up. And Olive discovers that the only thing more complicated than a hypothesis on love is putting her own heart under the microscope.
Aww.
This was actually Ali Hazelwood's debut novel that kicked things off for her. And if you go to her website, you can see like content warnings for all of the different books that she writes. So for this one, it was like workplace sexual harassment, vulgar language, death of a parent. So that's kind of nice too. She has a nice website. So again, she sets the bar high with the boyfriends in her books. So the first
Bunsen
one,
burners.
The Love Hypothesis, published in 2021.
What gave her name? This one was published last year, 2024. This is Not in Love. A forbidden secret affair proves that all's fair in love and science. Ruth Siebert might not have it all, but she has enough. A few friends she can always count on, the financial stability she yearned for as a kid, and a successful career as a biotech engineer at Klein, one of the most promising startups in the field of food science. Her world is stable, pleasant, and hard-fought, until a hostile takeover and its offensively attractive frontman threatens to bring it all crumbling down. Also handsome guys in these. Eli Kilgore and his business partners want Klein, period. Eli has his own reasons for pushing his deal through, and he's a man who gets what he wants, with one burning exception. Rue, the woman he can't stop thinking about, the woman who's off limits to him. Torn between loyalty and an undeniable attraction, Rue and Eli throw caution into the lab and boardroom windows. Their affair is secret, no strings attached, and has built-in deadline. The day of their companies will prevail. But the heart is risky business, one that plays for keeps. So, Not in Love.
second pick is actually a YA book. So she also writes YA books. So if you're looking to check out her books and read one with less graphic sexual content, this might be the one. This is Check and Mate, published in 2023. Valerie Greenleaf is done with chess. Every move counts nowadays. After the sport led to the destruction of her family 4 years earlier, Mallory's focus is on her mom, her sisters, and the dead-end job that keeps the lights on. That is, until she begrudgingly agrees to play in one last charity tournament and inadvertently wipes the board with notorious king killer Nolan Sawyer, current world champion and reigning bad boy of chess. Who knew?
Bad boys of chess.
Nolan's loss to an unknown rookie shocks everyone, especially Mallory. What's even more confusing? His desire to cross pawns again. What kind of gambit is Nolan playing? The smart move would be to walk away, resign, game over. But Mallory's victory opens the door to sorely needed cash prizes, and despite everything, she can't help feeling drawn to the strategist. As she rockets up the ranks, Mallory struggles to keep her family safely separated from the game that wrecked her family in the first place. And as her love for the sport she so desperately wanted to hate begins to rekindle, Mallory quickly realizes that the games aren't only on the board, the spotlight is hotter than she even imagined, and the competition can be fiercely attractive and intelligent and infuriating. So that was one of the other reasons to read Ali Hazelwood books. Was a lot of people commented on her writing style. They said you'll thrill with joy and you'll sob with surprise, and she has a lot of humor. So if you're looking for more of a YA pick, check out Check and Mate if you like chess.
Cool. So this one was the people at Goodreads that said this was their favorite.
Her online fans marked that one number one.
Number one, Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood, published in 2023. The many lives of theoretical physicist Elsie Hanaway have finally caught up with her. By day, she's an adjunct professor toiling away at grading labs and teaching thermodynamics in hopes of landing tenure. By other day, Elsie makes up for her non-existent paycheck by offering her services as a fake girlfriend, tapping into her expertly honed people-pleasing skills to embody whatever version of herself the client needs. Honestly, it's a pretty sweet gig until her carefully constructed Elsie-verse comes crashing down, because Jack Smith, again, the annoyingly attractive, and broody older brother and her favorite client, turns out to be a cold-hearted experiment physicist who ruined her mentor's career and undermined the reputation of theorists everywhere. And the same Jack who now sits in the hiring committee at MIT right between Elsie and her dream job. Elsie is preparing for an all-out war of scholarly sabotage, but those long, penetrating looks, not having to be anything other than her true self when she's with him, will falling into an experimentalist orbit finally tempt her to put her most guarded theories on love into practice? Find out in Love Theoretically. This one sounds cute. I can see why that's people's favorite.
And this came in number 2 on that list, and this is a different kind of book for her. This is Bride, published back in 2024, just last year. A dangerous alliance between a vampire bride and an alpha werewolf becomes a love deep enough to sink your teeth into in this new paranormal romance. Misery Lark, the only daughter of the most powerful vampire councilman of the Southwest, is an outcast again. Her days of living in anonymity among the humans are over. She has been called upon to uphold a historic peacekeeping alliance between the vampires and their mortal enemies, the Wares, and she sees little choice but to surrender herself in the exchange. Again. Wares are ruthless and unpredictable, and their alpha, Lo Moreland, is no exception. He rules his pack with absolute authority, but not without justice. And unlike the Vampire Council, not without feeling. It's clear from the way he tracks Misery's every movement that he doesn't trust her. If only he knew how right he was. Because Misery has her own reasons to agree to this marriage of convenience. Reasons that have nothing to do with politics or alliances, and everything to do with the only thing she's ever cared about. And she's willing to do whatever it takes to get back what's hers, even if it means a life alone in Were territory, alone with the wolf. Mm-hmm. So, if you want to get into paranormal romance, she also writes that. This is the first book in that series, and it'll continue with Mate, which is scheduled to be published later this year. So, want to check out that path of her writing.
Yeah, a little bit different. I bet that wolf is really attractive, though. Annoying way. This is Love on the Brain, published in 2022. The Love Hypothesis comes the new STEMinism rom-com in which a scientist is forced to work on a project with her nemesis with explosive results. B. Konigswasser, I don't know how to say that name, lives by a simple code. What would Marie Curie do if NASA offered her a lead in the neuroengineering project? A literal dream come true. Marie would accept without hesitation. Duh, but the mother of modern physicists never had a co-lead with Levi Ward. Sure, Levi is attractive in a tall, dark, and piercing eyes kind of way, but Levi made his feelings towards Bee very clear in grad school. Arch enemies work best employed in their own galaxies far, far away. But when her equipment starts to go missing and staff ignore her, Bee could swear she sees Levi softening into an ally, backing her plays, seconding her days, devouring her with those eyes. The possibilities have all her neurons firing. But when it comes time to actually make a move and put her heart on the line, there's only one question that matters. What will B. Konigswasser do? Love on the Brain. Published 2022.
My last pick is Loath to Love You. This was published in 2023, and this book contains 3 steamy STEMinist novellas featuring a trio of engineers and their loves in loathing, with a special bonus chapter. So this again goes to what Jill said. If you like the STEMinism, the females in the STEM field, another reason to check out Ali Hazelwood books. So this one has the 3 novellas. The first is Under One Roof. An environmental engineer discovers that scientists should never cohabitate when she finds herself stuck with the roommate from hell, a detestable big oil lawyer who won't leave the thermostat alone. The second one is Stuck with You. And that's a civil engineer and her nemesis take the rivalry and love to the next level when they get stuck in a New York elevator.
Ooh.
And the third one is Below Zero. A NASA aerospace engineer's frozen heart melts as she lies injured and stranded at a remote Arctic research station.
Ooh.
And the only person willing to undertake the dangerous rescue mission is her longtime rival. So,
awesome.
STEMinist novellas.
I think the one where she's trapped on the
New York
Arctic
elevator.
Well, if you have heard of Ali Hazelwood, we invite you to check her out, whether, if you like STEMinism or you want something different or you want some kind of romance or you want to read about really handsome guys who are kind of annoying.
Her writing style came up on all her fan sites because she draws from her own experiences as a woman navigating the challenging world of academia. She moved to the U.S. to pursue a PhD in neuroscience, actually. So she has been a professor for years, and in 2022, she quit to write full-time. So check out her books. She's new to me. I honestly have not read any Ali Hazelwood books, but some of these sound pretty fun, and
Yeah.
I like women in STEM, so they're on the Love Hypothesis has been on mine for a while to read. So we hope you gave you some ideas and new books to check out. You can find our videos on our Facebook page, the Kimberly Public Library YouTube channel, our website. And until next time, Jill and I thank you for watching.
Bye.